So in recent months, we saw a game called the blessed Loom that has taken over social media. And I did make a video explaining how it works, and I got a lot of pushback for that. I got a lot of people saying a lot of comments that we're not going to talk about, but nevertheless, I got a lot of pushback. Now, people were saying that it's very similar to something called Sou Sou, and it's not a scam, it's not a Ponzi scheme at all. So in this video, we're going to talk about what exactly is a Sou Sou and how it kind of differs from the blessed Loom scam or what we saw actually on social media. So what's up? I'm Brandon Young, and on this channel, I teach you how to make, save, and invest money. So if you're new here, consider subscribing and don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss a beat. Now, before we can actually talk about Sou Sou, we have to talk about the actual origins of Sou Sou. Now, Sou Sou is a century-old practice that was originally practiced in West Africa. And essentially, it gets its name from a European term called isusu, which means to pool money together or to pool. It is also derived from a French word called sou, which means coin with little value. Now, it kind of originated because, as you know, when you go to the bank, you may deposit some money in there, and with all those different fees that the bank may hit you with, you may go ahead and deposit $100, but when you try to go get it out, you may only have about $50 left with all those monthly fees that they hit you with. Sou Sous are typically a way to avoid paperwork, bureaucracy, and to avoid all those hefty fees that you may face by putting your money into a bank. It also allows anybody with questionable immigration status as well as poor credit to borrow and save money. Now, a lot of you are going to hear all this information. They're going to be like, okay, so what's the problem? It sounds very good. It seems like you're able to save your money without having to go through bureaucracy, credit checks, and all that. So what's the issue? Now, this only works if a few things are happening. The number one thing, the first thing on this list is this only works if you have a group of trustworthy friends or family that you are doing this with. This only works on the basis of trust because there is no real security. There's nobody actually backing this money up. Like a bank, like say if something happens to your money, the FDIC has insured your money up to 500K. So you know you would be good and set. But with this, you need to actually really trust the people that you're giving your money to because nothing is really stopping them from running away and doing anything with your money. Number two is with Sou Sous, you need to make sure that you have trustworthy people as well as people are consistently contributing into the Sou Sou. The reason why is you want to make sure everybody in this exact group is getting their money evenly distributed. What is stopping from the first person that actually got paid afterwards, they don't put any more money in? Then people aren't going to get their money evenly distributed, which is going to suck. What's honestly bad is there is no real governance towards this Sou Sou. It's more of kind of a personal circle where you need to make sure that everybody is doing it. But how are you going to do that? You know, it's not really essentially legal or it's not something that is like backed by something. So how do you make sure people actually pay? That's where the trustworthiness and actually trusting your group actually comes in to a great play. Now, this is how you can see the Cash App wheel game or the blessed Loom, whatever you want to call it, is kind of similar to the Sou Sou. They definitely have many similar aspects, but one of the major aspects that differentiates them from one another is the fact that with the Cash App game, Blessed Loom scam, you didn't really actually know most of the time who you were giving your money to. You were kind of going into it blind, not knowing where your money is going and who it's going to. Now, I would not personally give my money to somebody I do not know, who I do not find trustworthy. And this is what was happening with the actual Cash App game because people were just seeing a post, randomly cash apping people that they don't know money and expecting to get money back. The second thing is, let's face it, people were not getting paid from the blessed Loom scam. Now, I'm not going to say that people did not make money from this because I think people are kind of misstrewing my words and tossing them around. I did not say that you cannot get paid from this. But let's face it, everybody was in the game to actually get paid. Whether or not that was happening is the big question, which I can tell you that a lot of people ended up not getting paid. They were putting their money in, but they weren't getting anything back from it. I personally was seeing a lot of complaints, a lot of people saying, oh, I wasn't getting paid. Oh, I'm not getting my money. I lost my money. And typically that's not how Sou Sous go. That's one of the major differences between it. Now, I want to make this very clear. The structure of a Sou Sou / Blessed Loom, whatever you want to call it, is very similar to a Ponzi scheme. And a lot of you are going to get mad at me for saying this, but let's face it, it is very similar to a Ponzi scheme because people are getting paid from the new investors. Now, when it came to the actual Blessed Loom that was on social media, people were consistently bringing in new people all the time. So they were getting paid off the backs of the new investors and the old people were getting paid. Now, typically with Sou Sous, they use the same group of people, maybe a group of 20, and they consistently use those 20 people over and over again, which kind of makes it work as long as everybody is contributing and doing what they have to do. But as you know, with Ponzi schemes, they fail when people fail to continually bring in money. No matter what type of structure it is, if people stop putting in money, the whole thing, it ceases to exist because it doesn't work. There's no more money coming in, so nobody is going to get paid. Now, I want to make it very clear. People can have successful Sou Sous where they have no issues and people consistently pay into the Sou Sou religiously and no one has issues. I'm not saying that people cannot make money from this. You just have to be very wary of who you are actually doing it with because many things can happen. But let's face it, no matter how many people you're doing it with and if they're trustworthy or not, you always are going to run the risk of losing your money. This is a very high risk thing to do. Let's face it. It's high risk because one, there is no real governance. Two, since the money is usually all cash, there is no paper trail. That's very high risk. But obviously with the right supporting cast, Sou Sou can be a very good way for small communities to get a lot of funds to help one another achieve their goals. Now, like I said before, it is very high risk. I personally wouldn't do it myself. I would feel more, I guess, inclined to save my money myself because I know that I'm not going to cheat myself. There's no risk of me losing my money if I'm saving it and I'm putting it into an account or I'm saving it myself. When you have a big group of people, you run a higher risk because not everybody is going to be the trustworthy, loving person that you are. Let's face it, you're giving your money to people and you have to be fully immersed and you have to fully trust them. But Sou Sou, Blessed Loom Scan, Cash App, Wheel, whatever you want to call it, very similar structures, but they are different from the type of people that you bring in and whether they are trustworthy or not. But what are your thoughts about this? Do you think it's a Ponzi scheme? Do you think it's a scam? Do you think they are exactly the same? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed these types of videos, please go and give this video a like. Go subscribe to the channel for more content. I'm Brandon Young and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.